Hello, today I wanted to go through all the books that I'm currently reading with you and tell you why I'm not going to continue reading some of them and what I'm thinking of them so far. And there's not a lot, there's just these really, yeah, all of the books. So first up, I'm reading Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. I can't get into it. I'm on page 9, so I need to give it more of a time. It's already in chapter 2, but I find it very wordy and I can't really get into it for that reason. But I'm gonna get more into it and continue that because I don't think you can really tell from page 9. I am then reading A Room with a View by E.M. Forrester. I'm really far into it. 223. I've just flown through this. I absolutely, I'm adoring this book. It's about a girl who lives a very sheltered life and she goes to Italy. Something happens in Italy, which means when she comes back to England, she questions her life and this comfortable life and realises that she wants to go out there and learn more about the world and that she's experienced something that she doesn't really know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. Oh, yes, loving that book so far, so I'm probably going to finish that today. This book I got yesterday, An Anthology of Love, it's in my book haul. Basically a mixture of loads of different love poems and stuff like that. I am only a tiny bit into it, but I want to read, all the way through it and not just pick and choose at bits. It's got Lord Byron, loads of different people, William Shakespeare. I will say, anything that's got like love poems or love prose or whatever, it's always about heartbreak. It's never actually about love. So that suits me. Next up, I'm reading A Street Cat Named Bob. It's by James Bowman, and this is basically a true story about a man who was homeless, and this little cat here befriended him, and then he started looking after the cat, and then in many ways the cat helped him. He was a drug addict, and the cat's love for him helped him because it was unconditional love. Oh, such a beautiful story. I've seen so many interviews of this man and that cat, and the man just seems like such a lovely man. Obviously he had a bit of bad luck and there was no one really there to help him, so he became homeless and a drug addict. And then this cat just started following him about, and because the cat, showed him love, he managed to get off those things. Oh, I so want to read this. I'm only just into it, but I literally just found it on my bookshelf. Basically, I'm getting a new bookshelf today. I might film some of it and put it up at some time, but yeah, like they go right up there, as you know, because I'm sitting down, it's lower. There's a lot of books that I've forgotten, mainly this one, Little Women. Absolutely was loving this book. This is by L.M. Alcott. Oh my god, look at that embossing. Wow, look at me, what a nerd. Look at that embossing. But oh my god, I'm loving it. I even made notes, and these notes have got page references, so it's like, go to page 15, the line, and just the lines that I loved because it's beautiful writing. Again, nearly need to finish this. I have Louise Alcott's Little Wives, which is the follow-on book. It's a really old edition, but I still like it. I need to read Little Women so I can read this. God, come on. But I lost it, but if you haven't picked up Little Women, it's basically about a load of sisters live with their mum, their dad's at war, and he writes back to them and they read out his letters, and it's so quaint and it reminds me of The Railway Children, which again, have not read The Railway Children. The Railway Children is a book that I'm currently reading, but I probably won't finish it. I just don't think anything exciting happens in it. But this it does, because the writing's so beautiful. There's not a lot of exciting things, I will admit it, but it's so beautifully written. Next up, The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. I know everyone loves this, and I'm like a little bit into it. I just can't get the flow of it. I'm like, the back doesn't tell you anything about it. It's about two children who are one day going to compete against each other in like a magic war. Is that it? Is it like Harry Potter but with a circus? Like, I can't even get into it, but I'm gonna try. I think I might read that more at Christmas time, but it's difficult. Right, I have all these books to read. I picked up this book the other day and I've nearly finished it. This is A Girl with a Pearl Earring by Tracy Chevalier. Such a good book. I think this classes in like historical fiction. So basically, this is a real life painting and it's a story behind that painting. So like, you have paintings like the Mona Lisa, and it's like someone made up a fictional story about how the Mona Lisa came to be. Jonas Vermeer is the artist of this painting, and what the book is basically about is this girl in this picture is his maid who works for him, and so his whole book is about his maid's life and her family and everything, and then how he gets to say to her, hey, do you want to sit down and I'll draw you? Which obviously would be a very odd thing, because you'd only draw like ladies and stuff like that. You wouldn't draw like a maid, because I suppose in them times maids aren't really like women or seem to be desirable, because they're like, oh no, oh no. Next up I have The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Already read it, but I'm rereading it. Got all these books to read, and yes, I'm rereading. I then have Matilda by Roald Dahl. The reason I haven't read this, I'm like not even that far into it, is because I've already read 2 Roald Dahl books. I've read James and the Giant Peach this year and Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. So do you ever feel like that when you read like too much of the same author in one year? Well, what is too much of the same author? But I always feel really guilty. I'm like, there's all these authors here behind me who I haven't even started to read, and yet I'm reading 3 books from the same person. So I might leave this till like next year or something, because I have so many books to read from different authors. Next up there's Splinter by A.G. Howard. I have ordered the next book in the series. I'm sort of trying to savour it. When I first started this book, really hated it. I thought it was childish. I thought that, how insulting. I thought it was childish. I thought it was going to be really cringy. Now they're in the world, I feel like it's a series of short stories like Alice in Wonderland, where she meets the Cheshire Cat, that's one story. She goes to a tea party, that's one story. Feels like a series of short stories, and that's what I love about it. Oh, this cover. Yep, really done with that. This book, don't even know why I got it. The Unfairest of Them All by Shannon Hale. This is book 2. I'm guessing I don't have to read book 1, look at it. But I think I just like, it's like a hardback. There's quite nice production value on it. I think that's the only reason I bought it. There's the inside, and then on every single page is this like weird border. It's basically about the children of Disney princesses and what they went on to be, and it's about they're all at high school, the children at the moment, and they have to live their like happy ever after is how they're going to do it. So you've got the evil queen from Snow White. Her daughter goes to this school, and she's friends with Applewhite, who's Snow White's daughter as well. So they have to like follow in their footsteps. So if your parents are born evil, you have to be evil. If your parents are born good, you have to be good. And like, it's quite interesting. I just don't know whether it's like my age group, and I don't think whether you're older you can really enjoy it. Calling Dr. Laura. This was in my haul. Nicole J. George's self-memoir. Absolutely, I'm adoring it. I'm probably going to finish this today. Not today, maybe it's quite a lot of it, but I literally just bought this and I'm reading it, and yet I have all these books that I bought ages ago and I'm not reading. Oh my god. And so this was it. It's the end of all my books that I'm currently reading. There's like a million of them. So if you've read any of these books and you think they're really good and I should continue reading them and that I've misjudged them, please comment down below. Hammer on down and I will pick those books up first. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then like, comment and subscribe, and thanks for everyone who subscribed, thank you and all that. I'm looking at the pile of books I bought today. I've literally bought 6 books. This is why I'm currently reading so many books. I bought all these books today. I might show you them in a haul. I'm a bit embarrassed because I've just had like a massive haul, and now I'm going to have another one. Too many buying, not enough reading. Let's end the video on that. Too much buying, not enough reading. It's like an addiction.